How many days could you be hangry, you think, before you might just die?
30 minutes.
Oh, 30 minutes.
Yeah,
Okay.
30 minutes.
So in the apocalypse, you're not going to last that long.
No, I'm not. I'm going to tell you right now, that's not a thing. What's going on, everybody? Welcome to a new edition of The Buzz here at Buzzworthy Radio. I'm your host, Neville J. Lee, and we are continuing our South by Southwest coverage as we sat and talked with the cast and crew of the film Grind. Now, if you were like me, you probably had a job that you sat there and said, I can't take it anymore. I can't take it anymore. You are definitely going to get that vibe when you see this film, because I think it definitely portrays the tropes of our first job, maybe even our current job, and quite possibly our future job. I loved this movie. It is a dark comedy thriller. It's just so much fun. There's a lot of recognizable faces in this as well, but I think everybody's just going to hit the parts where they're saying, I've had this job. Maybe not to the extreme of what you'll see in this movie, but you probably experience the similarities in bosses, co-workers, whatever have you. It was so much fun. And hopefully you guys at South by Southwest got a chance to see it. But here's our interview with the cast and crew. Check out our Grind coverage. Rob and Chris, how are you guys? Appreciate the time.
Good.
Thanks. Yeah, we're doing good. Thanks for having us.
Absolutely. So we're here to talk about Grind, which premieres at South by Southwest this week. And the thing I just basically want to say about this movie in two short words: work sucks.
I'm telling you.
Big time.
It's getting worse, right? It's getting worse.
It just exemplified for me, especially your segment in the movie, for both of you. There was a job of mine that literally resonated with me with your segment completely for the both of you.
Wow.
And I just literally flat out sat there going, one, I wish I could get lobster rolls. Two, I did have a boss like Rob's. And three, I wasn't going to go the route of Chris at the end, but at times I felt it.
But it's there. It's in the background.
It is in the background. And I kind of understood why he was now starting to act crazy and have these visions, because I literally said, that's my life. Once upon a time. Not
Where
now.
Where was that? Where did you work?
I'm still in the pharmacy field a little bit, but not to the extent of where I was back then, because the first part that really hit me was when Chris comes in, first gets the job and says, oh, you're on the fourth floor. It's $175,000 a year. And they're saying it looks good and everything was too good to be true, sort of like in that job. So everything that kind of was in the beginning, it was sort of like that for me. Everything was too good to be true. Salary was great, perks were good, and then all of a sudden you get into it and it was actually a piece of shit.
Yeah, those lines at the pharmacy, man, those are stressful places. That is not people waiting for the drugs, dude. That is not a fun. That's not a fun line.
It's not a chill place.
It is not. It is definitely not for the faint of heart, for sure. Yeah. So I implore anybody who goes into the pharmacy field, please walk in there with a backbone.
Yeah. I mean, that's even like acting, like you get something like, by the way, the budget, just so you know, this is like half minimum wage, and you're like, okay, and it's 16 hours a day and you're not gonna see your kids. You're like, oh, cool. All right. And then,
such a fine line.
That's a great point, dude, is that the workplace has also shifted for our job. Like our job is also not that great anymore. Like it's just, everyone's just kind of hanging on.
We're literally hanging on by a thread. And you know what's funny? When I was watching that part of the movie and I'm seeing the gore of the clips that you had to watch in the queue, the first thing I said was, how much of this was inspired by Rob and Paul Scheer for Dark Web?
Well, Chris doesn't know about that. I do a show with a buddy of mine, Chris, where it's called The Dark Web, where we just look at insane clips. Usually it's funny stuff. Yeah. So it's not as dark as what your character has to do. But I thought it was really cool in the movie where all of the stuff that Chris has to moderate, obviously when we were shooting the movie, he's just imagining that stuff. They hadn't shot any of that stuff yet.
Oh
So,
wait, so all of the stuff that you're watching on the screen, you don't have it on the screen.
It's
right.
just green screen.
That's just acting. That's just Chris pretending.
That's just craft. That's all
That's just training. But then they went out and they shot all of this. Chris, when you see it, it's really horrible and shocking. It's just a montage of accidents and assassinations and people getting injured, and it's really fucked up.
It's like my viewing from 15 years old to 19. Like that's what that is.
That's right.
So basically it's wow. That's insane. I had no idea.
Yeah, it makes you think about, like, that is a job. Like, someone's got that job on Twitter and on YouTube. Just be like, oh no, you got to take that down. You got to take that down. That's too hardcore. It would really affect you, I think, after a while.
And sometimes voluntary jobs like dark web, where you and friends are like, let's lean in somewhat, and then
let's embrace this and make it funny. But yeah, it would really mess with you in real life, as you can see in Chris's performance. It puts him over the edge. I don't know if it's worth $175,000 to do that. Also, dude, the amount of clips that you have to watch. I know when you were doing this, we probably said what, but it's like, it's an insane number of clips in the movie. It's like 6 million or like a million.
It's literally it's about 6 million, and you have to get all the way. Yeah.
Oh, that's not. Yeah, that was written far less. That's hilarious. They're like, let's make this comically impossible. That's great.
It's really funny.
I am so into now to wanting your reaction when you see exactly what your character had to watch that you don't know what you had to see. So when you see it, I really want to know your reaction to, like, oh, this is what my character had to watch.
I mean, hilariously, when we were filming, they were like brainstorming what they were gonna do, and they were asking, this whole filmmaking process for all these folks was like a real joint effort. So like they called all their friends, and everybody's a bit of a filmmaker, so everyone was wearing a lot of hats. So all I knew was like the wardrobe person I was talking to, or the prop person, was like, I'm gonna shoot a video about this guy who's trying to plug in this electric, and then like he's like, head's gonna explode. And I was like, oh, so like they were just like, whatever they can come up with. It was a free for all. And I remember walking away being like, whatever, these guys are about to go nuts. They're going to go bananas.
Yeah. There's a lot of that stuff, because they really had to like fill out that world. It's not stuff that they bought. They didn't buy like stock footage. They went out and like shot it.
They were jonesing. Because all those folk, like Chelsea and Brea and Ed and stuff, they're all like super hardcore, horror nerds, and all their friends are. So it was like, for me, it was jarring. I was like, you're going to do what? Like, you guys going to eat the head off a frog, and he's going to like get poisoned. And I was like, Jesus, man, that was like norm,
Oh yeah, there's a giant frog.
I was getting ready to say there's a giant frog.
Oh, there is. Oh, they did.
It's very upsetting. There's a hardcore porn scene with a giant frog. When you see it,
there's a line. I will tell you this. There is a line. I will spoil this part since we brought it up. There is a line with that frog scene where the girl literally says, "I want to make tadpoles with you."
That's good.
We may have crossed the line a little bit.
I will say I don't want to work for Dragon at all. Like, that's not really my. I don't care if it's 175 working on the fourth floor. I don't want to work for Dragon. I don't care if you offer me lobster rolls. I don't think I want to work for this company. As much as I love Barbara Crampton. Barbara Crampton's my girl. I don't think I could do it.
I know. I also wonder if like the billionaires that run these companies in real life, like, does Jeff Bezos see himself this way at all? Does he know that we all think he's a monster?
Thought that when I'm watching that. I don't think he does.
He hasn't listened to us in a long time.
No.
There's no.
As soon as it took off after 95, I think we're not even a blip on his radar anymore.
He's planning like another space launch or whatever.
Yeah. He's on a different planet. I heard he like doesn't live on Earth anymore.
Why would he? Why would he live there?
That should have been incorporated into this story. Your character, Rob, should have been on another planet.
I
Yeah.
know, I
Maybe
know.
that should be the sequel.
No, but there's actually some truth to that. I was thinking actually yesterday, I forgot, like one of my longtime closest friends is this really nice guy named Costa. He's a novelist, but he's been a public school teacher for like ever. And he does this, man. Like his daughters, as she became a teenager, if he wanted to like send her on a trip for the summer or something, he'd go like do some gig work and grind it out. And I remember I was like, you're one of the most dedicated, good workers ever. And like just to kind of like get something extra, have a little something extra in life, you have to like go drive some Uber, and
Oh,
go.
yeah. I mean, I think that's most people now. I think it's so hard to make a living now. And I do think the movie does a good job of that, is sort of like positioning work as just this impossible hellscape that we're
Yeah.
all kind of being put through right now. It's just this meat grinder that we're all just like struggling to make a living. Just
Yeah.
late stage capitalism, like just
Yeah.
Yeah.
watching it all just fall apart.
Yeah.
But yeah, I've met so many people like that. Everyone that's like part of the gig economy, like you just have to do so many things
Yeah.
to get by. It's so tough right now.
Yeah, everything's a hustle. And even if not, like, I don't know. I don't know many people that aren't, unless that gap between Bezos and the rest, like I don't know many people that aren't like a few months away from like the possibility of catastrophe at any point, like the
Yeah.
security is also really gone. Like
I
I,
know. I think the kind of cool thing that people are waking up to is like, it's not like us against us anymore. It's us against them. It's like like this is the enemy. These billionaires, like the wealth inequality
yeah.
is the problem. It's not like what this neighbor thinks or this neighbor thinks. It's like this billionaire that's
Yeah.
running. Anyway, I got a lot of deep thoughts about this,
Okay,
guys.
good.
A
Yeah, let's
lot of
do
deep
this.
thoughts.
Let's talk Howard Zinn, People's
Let's-
History of the United States. Let's get
Cool,
into
cool,
like,
cool, cool,
yeah,
cool.
We definitely got to get you back for a longer one to talk about that in depth. And that was a great way to wrap it up because honestly, don't overexert yourself for a job, no matter how much it promises you. So that's definitely a takeaway from this movie. And
That's the
this was a lot
lesson.
of fun. And this was a lot of fun to watch. And I appreciate your time too, for both of you, for stopping by and talking
thanks,
about it. But
Lavelle.
yes,
Nice
we'll
to meet you.
definitely have you back for sure.
Yeah, man. Good
Thanks,
luck on those
Novell.
pharmacy lines, dude.
James and Ify, how are you guys? Pleasure to talk to you.
Good. Yeah. It's been
Good.
a blast.
I already have been talking about this movie since this morning. I watched it, and literally the first thing I said about it, and it's just two words that define it for me: work sucks. And that's literally all I am taking away from this movie, is that work sucks. And I think everybody's going to relate to that.
Yeah, that's a perennial theme.
Oh yeah.
So, yeah, and both of you, you're not in the same segment in the anthology part of this movie. You, James, are in the part that resonated with me the most in Chris's segment. And I spoke to him earlier, and the first thing I said was, honestly, that segment of his boss, Chris's boss in that segment, I lived that life. I lived that life. So that was
You live that life on the receiving end of that kind of
yeah.
yeah.
It sounded good on paper. And then as soon as you get into it, it was absolutely not what it was cracked up to be.
They hit you with a lot of, oh, by the way,
Yeah.
Yeah.
salary we talked about is not exactly what we talked about, etc.
Yeah. Remember that bonus I promised you? Yeah, you're not getting that.
Yeah, that's not happening.
That is not happening. So your character, it's Richard, I believe, is the name of your character, is trying to basically help Chris's character in a way to get out of this, when in reality he's basically telling him there's no way out.
Yeah, basically like it's an anthology movie. It's 4 separate stories, but it's all about sort of delivery drivers, baristas,
Baristas.
low-level employees at a social network, which is where me and Chris are supposed to be connected. And I'm like a former employee, but this evil corporation owns all these companies. And I'm sort of an older former employee who communicates with Chris I'm sort of like Watergate Deep Throat. I'm like the guy in the parking garage going, you don't know what, it's even worse than, you know. And then I sort of hope
And
that
of course, coming from someone who was an Oppenheimer, that makes this statement even more tracking. So
I like to do movies about troubling social issues. Yeah, but it's great, and it's I mean, the sort of, the movie's sort of about the deep dynamic between these sort of stressed out, exploited workers and these corporate overlords. And that's very relatable in our times. I gotta say.
It's the gore. It's also funny gore in this dark comedy sense of it. It's funny gore because, not to give it too much away, but when Chris's character kind of offs himself, he died comedically. So I mean, so even then, I'm just sitting there going, "This is still funny." So
yeah.
it's still funny.
It's like a black comedy. The tone is satirical, and it is really funny. And there's lots of old school great horror moments.
It's very funny. I definitely found myself not just relating to it, but it is definitely hilarious. And if your character in here, I think you are the barista, if I'm not mistaken. Yes, and you are the manager on duty.
Yeah. I mean, much like you were saying, you connected. I just feel like everyone has worked with this guy who like just cares too much. Like he really thinks like I'm gonna work my way up. This company does care about me. And it was really fun kind of just conveying that in Todd, because I was like, oh, I'm being everyone who used to annoy me at every one of my like jobs like this.
That's the part where I just basically went, that's so true. Because I mean, and not for nothing. I mean, even for me, you just saying that was who I used to be. I was the people pleaser at work because I was trying to get that step ahead. And I thought in order to do that, I had to be the people pleaser in order to do that.
Well, that's what we were told, right? Growing up, you're like, if you just, and I think it's just this old school. I think it's also just like, old school parents who grew up in a work system that is not the same as we did, what we kind of went into, where like before, back in the day, you worked at a job and you just moved your way up. You get, I remember my fiance worked at Forever 21, going through the displays. And then, all of a sudden she was like the district manager, and then she was opening Forever 21s everywhere. But that was like the last bastion of that. And now it's just all like, if you can just be stuck and you can do everything you can. And because you're good at that thing, they're like, why would we lose you?
Right. You're going to become stagnant in your position. I mean, I had to experience that too. And it became to a point where, like as you said, you're doing something so well, but then it's also, you don't want to speak up, but you have to speak up. But not a lot of people do that. And you're seeing in Grind when that happens, when they do speak up, you may not get out of this unscathed a little bit.
Yes.
So an idea that if you work for this corporation, you're making a Faustian bargain, but that might not be so metaphorical.
I know.
The company does seem, it's a movie, so the company does seem like they have some genuine demonic power.
Oh yeah.
They have their hands on some supernatural elements.
So the whole thing is, as we're talking, guys, this company called Dragon, and I immediately said, I don't want to work for them. I don't want to go on and sell things and sell leggings online with a ring light. I don't want to watch videos of gore to get paid and try to clear my queue, when in reality you can't clear your queue and it's just going to make you crazy. I don't want to have this scary thing coming at me where Ronin has to slice the head off. I also don't want to be a DoorDash driver where you're going to this place and having a doppelganger come at me, and it's like you're in Rockwell, somebody's watching me video. I don't want to do that. I don't want to do any of those things for $175,000 a year. Now, if you told me $500,000 a year, let's talk. So there's a line that I might cross.
Yeah, no, that's right. Because it's also a classic horror film. It's not so much get out of the house as get out of the job.
Yes. Which is like great because I often think a lot about how like horror, all the best horrors kind of reflect the like worries of the time. Like The Exorcist,
Totally.
I went to Catholic school and they were telling us like you can't watch that movie because that's real and the demon can get in you. Like that, like it
Yeah.
was reflecting the like actual fears. And then you have like Get Out, right, where it's like this the relationship with race and the time and like staying true to yourself or feeling like your culture is being colonized. And then you have this film, which I think is also like the fears of like an evil corporation taking over and getting their hands in everything and making our lives worse. And good thing that's not happening, but we can just watch it in a movie.
We could just watch it in a movie. That's all we got to do here. As we wrap up, Ify, I know that you were also on a comedy tour this year. I think March 25th is your next date. I think it's in Boston.
Yes.
And you were actually going to be in my hood at the end of the year. You're going to be at the Helium Comedy Club in December in Philadelphia.
Yes.
So
Yeah.
So yes, if you guys are in the area like I am, please check him out. I will be there. So definitely.
Please do. It's going to be a fun time. I'm really excited. Just coming off of the Australia tour, I'm like, oh man, like I do so many things, but like I started off with like improv and stand up, so it's fun to just be, cracking jokes with folks.
There you go. Grind, if you're at South by Southwest, you have a badge, please check this out at the screenings. It's a fun movie. You're going to have a blast watching it and you're going to relate to it so much like I did. You guys, thank you so much for taking time out of your day to talk to me about it and sharing some of our work horror stories in the midst of it. Yeah, we first met at the Y&R 50th party.
Wow.
We did?
Yeah, the Y&R 50th party. So, yeah.
Oh, well, sorry about that. Good to see you again then.
It was like it was towards the party night, and the thing I said to you was I liked your Mindy on Guiding Light, and you told me you didn't think.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you said
I remember that.
Yeah. That was me.
You don't look old enough to have been watching Mindy on Guiding Light, but okay. Yeah.
I'm 40. So I was about 8. I shouldn't have been watching, but I was watching. I wasn't old enough to watch Leanna Love. So I wasn't old enough to watch Leanna Love. So Mindy and then Maggie, and then when Leanna came back for the few stints.
Oh, you're a real soap opera person. Yeah.
I'm a big guy. I've been watching since '90, and and World Turns was my first love. So
yeah.
So and then I fell in love with the rest of CBS, and then now I watch all of them. So so it's an honor.
Yeah, and you're watching.
I am still watching and watching Beyond the Gates, and I watched Grind, which we are here to talk about too, which is, I think the theme that I've said throughout all the interviews today was that this is basically telling me that work sucks. And it sucks in the worst, best way possible. Oxymoron, yes, but it's a fun dark humor movie that I really did enjoy. I just want to preface this by saying I do have a ring light right now that I'm using for my interview, but I'm not doing that to sell anything. I'm not selling leggings or anything like that. I'm not trying to have anybody coming with an axe.
You should be making the most of it and selling something.
Not having someone trying to come.
MLM.
No axe guy is coming to break down my door. I'm not having that. And then realizing I have powers to freeze them in the house. That's not happening here during this time that I have with both of you. Just letting you know.
Sure. We believe you.
Okay,
that's what they all say in the beginning,
That is true. That is true. And I'm sure your character was struggling. I was just happy that you had food that wasn't glitter. Okay?
Thank you so much. I needed something, just something. Just let me.
She looked so happy when she had that food, and it wasn't. I felt that. I felt that.
Feed me.
Like actual food, just feed me.
How many days could you be hangry, you think, before you might just die?
30 minutes.
Oh, 30 minutes. Okay.
Yeah, 30 minutes.
So in the apocalypse, you're not going to last that long.
No, I'm not. I'm going to tell you right now, that's not a thing. Not a thing. The walkers are literally just going to take me. That's it. I'm done. I'm done. Just put me out of my misery. That's it.
Oh, man. fun.
But this was so much fun. I mean, you have the original, one of the original Scream Queens that was involved in this, Miss Barbara herself. With this, so it was so much. I mean, listen, the whole thing was fun, and it's going to resonate with so many people. And for you, Jessika, what did you? I asked this for everybody. Did you have a job like that? Not to the sense that you were getting chased with an axe or anything, but to the point where it was like it was a lot to. It was good on paper, but in reality, it actually wasn't what it seemed to be.
Oh, absolutely. I've even had ones where I, I'm not going to give any names away, but I had a situation once where on paper they did have all the proper rules, and then they just started bending them. They just
Mm,
started, and you would think that once it's on paper, you're good. Like in
yeah.
this case, I think even the paper was a little sketch and someone didn't read the fine print. But but in my
You
particular
were told that you didn't read the fine print in the movie, so
okay,
there's
fine.
that.
All right. So I swear in real life I read the fine print and the fine print checked out and then it just started to kind of bend in real life and they're like, "Oh, but we're all working together and we're all in this together. We're all in this together. So you can do this. You can just kind of suffer a little
You
with
couldn't do
us. We're all
this.
suffering together." I was like, "Oh, yeah."
And then you, Barbara, you playing in this is. I love your villainous role in this. I love you, but I will never work for Dragon. I won't do it.
Right.
I won't work for Dragon.
Yeah.
But it's so much fun to see you playing in this element. You kind of played some villainous roles in the past, but this one was a lot of fun for you.
Yeah, it was a lot of fun. I mean, it's comedic, and Brea is a fantastic writer and has managed to work in the horror comedy space a lot as a director. And I've worked with her a couple of times as an actor. And then she asked me to play the founder, who was based on this woman who is part of this documentary called Lula Rich. And so it's a real woman who has a multi-level marketing company and she sells these leggings. And it just seems so outrageous to me. I know about Avon and Mary Kay and the Fuller Brush Man and Amway, but when she said that, yeah, there's actually a company, they sell leggings and it's a multi-level marketing company. I'm like, no. She said, yes, you have to. And, to play somebody who has, an evil undertone, but comes across as perhaps not that in the beginning to lure people into her cult was kind of attractive to me. And I feel like all of the segments were brilliant and just the whole premise of this anthology was based in something that everyone is really fearful about. And that's, the gig economy and making money. And it used to be, 40 years ago when you had a job, you would have that job for 40 years and you'd, rise up in a company and you'd make more money and make retirement. And now it seems like especially young people, have to have these tiny little jobs that they are filler jobs to fill in because even, journalists aren't making as much as they used to.
Yeah.
And actors aren't, right? And I know that. And actors aren't making as much as we used to. I did that movie From Beyond how many years ago, almost 40 years ago. The money I made on that movie, I lived for an entire year. I can't do that now.
Right.
Any movie I make is like, it's just not that. And I think it's just becoming harder and harder in our world to feel secure and to make, ends meet. And I think this anthology really hits to what a lot of people are worried about, in our culture, not just in this country, but in other countries too. It's like the same everywhere.
Yeah, it's not sustainable. I think that I'll wrap it up here with saying that don't overexert yourself for a job. Don't do that. No job is worth it, no matter how enticing it sounds. And like you said, it's going to resonate with so many people. And I hope that those are in South by Southwest. Please check this out. It's so much fun as well. And you guys, thank you so much for your time talking with me today. Barbara, it was so good to see you again. And this was so much fun. I enjoyed it so much.
I'm so glad you liked it because we love it too. We're so happy about it.
Thank you. I'm so excited to talk with you guys. I'm here with Chelsea, Ed, and Brea to talk about Grind. And literally talking about this since all day yesterday. I love the movie, and the biggest takeaway that I told every single person who I talked to: work sucks.
It does. Yes.
It legitimately sucks. And this movie really does emphasize the fact that it really does suck. And
Yeah.
and I'm sure that a lot of us, myself included, which is another reason why I liked it so much, probably had some of those bosses in our life. It may not be to the extreme of what Grind showed in the movie, but the personality was the same. So there was that for me. And I think the one that hit me the most was the one for the content one with the queue. That was the one that hit the hardest because I had a boss like that. And it sort of was a similar, not in essence, a similar workplace. It's not really a similar workplace. It was kind of in the same realm of reality a little bit. So I liked all of the parts, but that was the one that literally hit the most. So yeah, it was a great film. I thoroughly enjoyed it, and I understand this was actually 2024. It wrapped filming.
Some of it did.
Some of it did.
I was like, it wrapped about 2 weeks ago.
Yeah, it actually wrapped about 2 weeks ago. This has been a long process. We're a small but mighty team, and very much a labor of love. Super duper indie. So we shot the first segment a year before we shot the majority of the movie, and then we shot even more of it last year in 2025. So we've been shooting this movie for 3 years.
We were picking things up like many days along the way. I always think it's funny to think about, if I thought of how many shoot days we had total, it would actually sound like quite a large film. It'd be like, oh my God, as many days as The Matrix.
But some of those days were like, me, and there were days where it's just like me and my camera and the DP at my house. And I was we were picking up inserts, or we're at Ed's backyard, like grabbing stuff. But no, we literally just finished.
Menacing my 9-year-old daughter with a hammer.
Right. But we literally just finished color like 2 weeks ago.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
And during my course yesterday of talking with Chris and Rob, the scenes with the queue, he didn't know what was on the screen. He basically acted without those images. I basically was in shock because I thought he saw everything, and literally he had no idea. And to this day, he still has no idea what Chris has literally no
movie at this point.
Wait. I think he may have seen the version that had the temporary videos in.
Yeah. He flat out said, because Rob and I told him that there were the frog scene, the frog sex scene. He didn't know that was in there. So he still does not know.
How is the number one thing we're talking about here the frogman sex scene?
I love it.
Well, yeah.
Because
Frog
that was the most
scene.
outlandish thing to hear and see. Because the first thing I said to Chris was like, honestly, you're going to hear a line where it says, "Make me little tadpole babies." And I was literally like, no!
Wow.
Oh my God.
That's funny too, because that was something that was lost in the original mix. In my notes to Spencer, the sound editor, I was like, whoa, bring back, I want to have your tadpoles.
I do think this is how it's a very small movie, is that like we have been running around trying to get this done. Basically, when we got into South by, we were like, oh, we have to finish the movie. So there's probably a lot of people.
That might be a little bit of a, reason why you need to finish the movie.
You have to finish before they'll let you play at South by. You can't just bring like a rough cut. But I think we didn't listen. Chris was invited to the cast and crew screening. He just lives in Ireland.
Yeah.
Yeah. That might do it, but you could tell it was so much fun to do, and I love this cast, and Barbara Crampton especially. I've known and loved her for a long time, so having her being involved in one of the original Scream Queens, it was a great touch to have. And the concept of it overall, whose main brainchild was this?
Wow. do you need to contribute that to just one person, or it can be a group effort?
It could be a group effort.
Wow.
I was just wondering if someone was going to take the reins on it.
Well, Ed is the anthology guy. He's the guy who wants to make anthologies, and we had been sort of working in tandem. We've worked together on stuff in the past, and then we were kind of both writing from the same location during the pandemic, writing from a park, and we were trying to come up with something to do together. And this was sort of his. I feel like Ed pitched me about 100 ideas, and I was like, and then finally he was like, MLM short film. And then eventually it became like, and it's all based on hustle culture. And then I was like, oh yeah, I like that idea. So I think Ed can take credit.
Yeah. I wasn't going to do it, but
I know a good idea when I see him. Okay, I know a good idea.
Reluctantly did.
I was like, well, since you brought it up.
Well, his first 40 ideas I said no to. So.
I'm an idea man. I'm proud of it.
Well, I mean, honestly, hustle culture, you couldn't have picked a better topic, honestly, and especially in this day and age right now with everything going on with work and how everybody is overexerting for their jobs. I made the claim yesterday with everybody who I talked to. I said, honestly, don't overexert yourself for a job. If it looks good on paper, if it sounds good, and it's too good to be true, it is too good to be true. And that was another reason why it resonated with me so much, especially with Chris's and Rob's segment, because that actually happened, where something was presented to me and it was so delicious. I wanted it so badly, and I took it, and then all of a sudden, as you get into it, it's not what it's cracked up to be. So I think that's one of, if not the biggest takeaway from this, is don't put yourself to a point where you will have to kill yourself for a job. Don't do that. Because and the reality of it is, it's not worth it. And there's so much more that once I learned that I learned so much about my life and perspective and what I've missed and what I gave up because I put my focus into work.
It's funny that you say this to filmmakers, because I feel like we all basically kill ourselves for work. And I think it's like the one, but we're like, no, it's okay if we do it. We're fine with it. We
but it's funny that I'm saying it as well as a podcaster.
Yeah,
because I'm also doing the same thing.
Yeah, I know.
But here's the caveat
how many relationships can I kill by filmmaking?
How much can I kill myself by doing 50 interviews in one day? And then, but here's the caveat for all of us here, because we say this, we love what we do. We love what we do. When I say that about that other job, it wasn't this. It was actually a pharmacy job that I was doing, and that was also very strenuous, and it was not the best. It was a very toxic relationship. But coming into doing this, it's so different on the perspective of doing this so much. I love doing this so much, so I feel like it's different. Because obviously, as you said, for filmmakers, you love what you do too. I love what I do here. It's a whole different vibe in this setting. And because I'm my own boss, that's probably why I like it.
It's true. It is nice being your own boss. Although I think that's kind of the the double-edged sword of the gig economy, is that we promise people that they're their own bosses, and then it turns out like you're not your own boss, and there's like a timer that you have to be places at a certain you can drive Uber whenever, but the pay is going to be so low that it's like actually not worth being your own boss. Yeah.
And also the thing about being your own boss is it's like 11 p.m. on a Friday, and you're like, should I be working right now? I should be. Like you're never off.
You're never off. Everybody says you have your own hours. You can make your own hours. No, that's not true. That doesn't happen. That doesn't happen. But it's definitely going to hit with some people, and I'm very excited for this to premiere at South by. I'm sad that I will not be there because I have a prior commitment. Otherwise, I would have been there cheering you guys on. But I'm going to be cheering you guys from afar. I'll be cheering for you here in Jersey. So
great.
Yes, absolutely. So please have fun. Please, if you have a badge, go see it. It's so much fun. You're going to enjoy it, especially if you love anthology series. This fits your mold. I love anthology series, so this hit for me too. So I appreciate it, and I appreciate your time letting me talk and getting to talk to you about this movie. It was great.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thanks for tuning in into the latest episode. For entertainment news, past interviews, and official merch, visit our website at buzzworthyradiocast.com. Until next time.